Well, hello guys, here we are for another episode of Historical Markers. We're in Pemiscot County, Missouri, and we are down here in the Boot Hill, been looking around and trying to find out what all's going on, and there's some really interesting things here in Pemiscot County. And I'm looking forward to finding out more about the area. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and stick with me as we find out what's going on historically in Pemiscot County, Missouri. All right, we are in Caruthersville, Missouri at the Pemiscot County American Legion Post, number 88 Memorial Park. As you can hear, there are lawnmowers going on everywhere. People trying to get things mowed before the rain comes in. But we're going to walk around here to the memorial. All right. This is World War I. These dead shall not have died in vain. And then we got World War II. More World War II here. Korea. The Gulf. And Vietnam. It's a very nice memorial. All right, we are here in Caruthersville, Missouri at the General John Riggs Veterans Park. It's a really nice memorial area. And we're here today for this marker right here. General John M. Riggs. This memorial site was dedicated on November 11th, 2000 to the honored veterans of all wars by Lieutenant General John M. Riggs, United States Army. Lieutenant Riggs and his wife, Kathy, are natives of Caruthersville. At the time of the dedication, Lieutenant Riggs was serving as the commanding general, 1st United States Army, Fort Gillem, Georgia. Lieutenant Riggs, a 1964 graduate of Caruthersville High School, entered the Army as an enlisted man in 1965. Commissioned a second lieutenant in 1969, he is a graduate of Infantry Officers Candidate School, Fort Benning, Georgia. He served a combat tour in Vietnam as a helicopter pilot. Lieutenant Riggs commanded at company, battalion, brigade, division, and army levels, serving in Vietnam, Germany, Korea, Belgium, and numerous assignments throughout the United States. As of the date of this dedication, his general officer service included Assistant Division Commander, 3rd Infantry Division in Germany, Deputy Commanding General, United States Army Aviation School, Fort Rucker, Alabama, Assistant Deputy Chief of Staff, Operations and Plans, Washington, D.C., and Commanding General, 7th Infantry Division, Fort Carson, Colorado. It is with a sense of humility and gratitude that we dedicate this sacred site to the honored memory of all who have served this nation in the name of liberty and freedom, and especially those who gave their last full measure of devotion. May God bless their memory and their sacrifice for this great nation. And there's memorial benches around to different operations and wars and people been dedicated. And over there is another memorial. And on the back is In Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row. that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields, by John McCrae. You know, that's why on Veterans Day, you will see veterans gathered, taking donations and giving out poppies, if you ever wondered why that is. Support our veterans. It's really important to do. All right, we are down on the banks of the Mississippi River in Caruthersville, Missouri. There's a monument right up here. Nice little area. They're doing a lot of work over here in this area. I don't know what they're doing. All right. This monument here is in honor of Sterling Price Reynolds. Gotta watch my step. To whom this park is dedicated on his 100th birthday, November 9th, 1961. Born in Callaway County, Missouri, graduated from University of Missouri, 1883. With highest honors, settled in Caruthersville in 1896. Levee District Engineer since 1900. Little River Drainage District Board Member since 1907. This was presented in appreciation of his vision and service to drainage and flood control. And it looks like they're continuing to do work all around this area. And I'm sure making things safe for residents in the future.
Here's a marker down by the river in Caruthersville. It says, loading cypress lumber at Caruthersville Landing, 1857. Working by moonlight was a typical scene along the Mississippi River during the mid-1800s. The prime export of the time from Caruthersville Landing was cypress lumber. Because of its superior moisture and insect resistance, cypress lumber was often used for boat building. This type of wood was also a source of framework for homes and buildings of this era. Many of the large mansions built along the Mississippi and Missouri rivers were framed with lumber milled in this area. This illustration depicts two different types of riverboat transportation. The flatboat was used to transport goods and merchandise downstream. The flatboat was known as a one-way boat, as it could not be navigated upstream. When the flatboat would arrive at its final destination, it would be dismantled and sold as lumber. The crew would either stay in the area or find some means of transportation upstream. It was normal for river travel to take place with the help of moonlight. When the boat arrived at the landing, the men would work as quickly as possible to load or unload the merchandise. The crew of the steamboat would keep the boilers fired so that the proper pressure was maintained. Then, as soon as the delivery was made, the boat would be on its way to its next destination. The moonlight provided the necessary illumination for the journey to continue. May this flag fly. Early in 1961, Horace Dunnigan Jr. reached out to the business and personal friends to raise the funds to establish what is now Reynolds Park. At the time, the chief engineer of the St. Francis Levee District and the president of the Little River Drainage District, Mr. Sterling Price Reynolds, was on the eve of his 100th birthday. The Rotary Club decided if such a park were built, that it should be dedicated to Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Dunnigan conducted a fundraising campaign to secure the property, to raise a flagpole, and to erect the Reynolds Park Monument just landward of this pavilion. The VFW Auxiliary donated the first flag, which was raised by 6 Eagle Boy Scouts under the direction of Scoutmaster Morrell Durain Jr., and 6 Girl Scouts under the direction of Mrs. David Pike. Over 500 people attended the flagpole dedication. Morel Durain Jr. spoke during the dedication ceremony, and he was quoted as saying, "May this flag fly as long as the river flows."
All right, we are on the grounds of the Pemiscot County Courthouse in Caruthersville, Missouri. And we've got a marker here that's got a lot of really awesome information on it. It says Caruthersville, the capital of historic Pemiscot County and center for a cotton grain, timber, and industrial area. Caruthersville was laid out in 1857 by George W. Bushy and J. Hardiman Walker, 1794 to 1860, on the Walker Plantation. Boot Hill counties, Pemiscot, Dunklin, and a section of New Madrid are said to be a part of Missouri through efforts of Walker. His grave is in Eastwood Methodist Churchyard. First settlement in this vicinity was the French village, Little Prairie, founded as a trading post near an Indian village in 1794 by Francois Le Sueur while Missouri was Spanish. Upper Louisiana. Got to get those sentences read right. During the Great New Madrid earthquakes of 1811 to 1812, Little Prairie, being in the center of disturbance, was destroyed. Rebuilt, it was later known as Lost Village and finally fell victim to floodwaters and caving riverbanks. Caruthersville became seat of Pemiscot County in 1898. Named for its main bayou, an Indian derivative meaning liquid mud, the county was organized in 1851. The first county seat, Gayoso, named for the Spanish governor of Louisiana, was a few miles north of here. The site was abandoned to the Mississippi River. Now we're going to walk around to the other side and continue the story. Caruthersville, here in Missouri's southeast lowland region, serves one of the state's most productive agricultural counties. Game, timber, and soil brought Southern pioneers to the area, but growth was halted in the Civil War when troops and guerrilla bands ranged the county. During 1864 to 66, Pemiscot County was completely disorganized and was placed under the jurisdiction of the adjacent New Madrid County Court. Caruthersville grew as a shipping center with the coming of Lewis, Houck's, St. Louis, Kennett, and Southern Railroad, now Frisco. 1894 lumber companies harvesting the county's forests spurred railroad development. Land reclaimed by the St. Francis River in 1893 and Little River 1905. Drainage districts and levees increased growth. Well, that was hard to read. County population rose from 12,115 in 1900 to 45,624 in 1950. Pemiscot County lies in territory ceded by Osage tribes in 1808 and utilized by bands of Delaware, Shawnee, and Cherokee Indians. Some of the largest Indian mounds found in Missouri are in this county. One mound near Cottonwood Point measured 400 feet by 250 before land use reduced its size. We are outside the Pemiscot County Courthouse in Caruthersville, Missouri. And the first marker we're looking for is this one. It says, Pemiscot County commemorates the bicentennial of the 24th State of the Union, the great state of Missouri, August 10th, 2021 AD. That's a really cool marker. All right, we are in Caruthersville, Missouri, at their little park here. But we are here for this marker and really cool looking Air Force plane. Lieutenant Colonel John B. England, born January 15, 1923, Caruthersville, Missouri, died November 17, 1954 in Toul, France. Colonel England participated in 108 combat missions during World War II. He destroyed 19 German aircraft and on one mission downed 4 enemy aircraft. For his gallantry in action, he was awarded the Silver Star, the Distinguished Flying Cross with 3 oak leaf clusters, the Air Medal with 14 oak leaf clusters, and the French Croix de Guerre. He was Missouri's leading ace pilot of World War II. Colonel England died heroically landing in fog at Toul, France, when he elected to crash into a wooded area rather than risk the lives of other men. This memorial of Colonel England is dedicated to and represents the highest tradition of American fighting men lost in wars, fought for the preservation of our freedoms. Well, guys, what'd you think? That was Pemiscot County, Missouri, down here in the Missouri Boot Heel. As we proceed county to county, I'm getting a good overview of how historically that this area has been settled and what a huge part the Boot Heel had. You know, it's being right there on the Mississippi, the Boot Heel had in the Civil War as well. So stick with me. If you've not subscribed, do that, push that like button, and drop me a comment and let me know what you think of our continuing historical marker series, and I'll catch you later.